Hi, I'm Benton. I'm the owner of Abita wood floors. Today we're doing a tear out in Madisonville, Louisiana. This is a nice looking floor. It's an engineered floor, which means it comes from a factory pre-finished. And the way they make engineered floors is they'll take a log, they'll soak it in hot water until it becomes very pliable. Then they'll turn that log and peel off veneers or plies. Think of the way you peel off paper towels off of a roll. Those thin plies, then they take those, they cut them, they glue them together into laminates. So the floor ends up looking like this. And it's got 3 or 4 or 5 different laminates, even though it's only 3/8 of an inch thick. The top layer is what we call the wear layer. This is the business layer of it, because to make sure that it looks nice, they sand and finish it, they bake it at a factory, so it's got a really nice finish on it. The problem with it is that it's a short-term floor. This floor is only about 10 years old. And the reason we have to tear it out is because the owner hates the color and she wants to refinish it. And most manufacturers say you can refinish it. That's good. Except the manufacturers themselves, they don't do any refinishing. So they're guaranteeing that somebody else can do something that they don't do. That's not good. That's not honest. I refinished the floor. When I look at this floor, you'll see that the top wear layer is so thin, I couldn't sand it. I could sand it in a perfect world, but because that top veneer is so thin, if there's any deviation in flatness in the floor or the subfloor, I cut right through the top layer, and you see the bottom layer, which is ugly wood, not pretty wood. So that's why I couldn't sand to finish this floor. The owner understood. She says, tear it out, give me a new floor. These are the kinds of floors that we love. They're unfinished. They come 3/4 of an inch thick. The tongue and groove, they have the tongue and groove on both sides, and they have the tongue and groove on the end. They call it end matched, where the tongue and groove is on the ends and it's on the side. You put down a subfloor, vapor barrier, or subfloor, then you'll nail this unfinished piece of oak flooring or any other species that you like into the subfloor. Then you come back and sand and finish this. You'll sand it 3 times, rough, medium, and fine. You put your finish on. But here's the beauty of this floor. The wear layer is 5/16 thick compared to the wear layer of a pre-finished floor, which is about the thickness of a dime, maybe. Might be as thick as three business cards. It's very thin, and it can't be resanded in real life. The manufacturer says it can be resanded. He says that it works, but it doesn't work because you cut through it. This is kind of sassy, but ask me how I know. I've sanded through it plenty of times, trying not to, but there's no perfect way to do that. So we prefer this floor. This floor, without exaggerating, will be in the house the life of the house. This kind of floor, a solid piece of 3/4, will withstand hurricanes sometimes. There was a gentleman in Slidell, he had 6 feet of water in his house. And he tore everything out, and the wood floor was in place. His insurance man wouldn't give him what he needed to fix it. It was like $35,000, a 2,000 square foot job. But since his house was on concrete slab and his wood floor was installed on sleepers, what we did was, instead of charging him $35,000 to tear it out and put a new floor in, we sanded off the top layer of finish. So the floor was bare, had nothing on it. And we pulled off the job and waited 6 months. Now the air conditioner began to dry out the floor. So he called me the next day after we sanded it and said, my floor is popping. It's making popping, cracking noises. That's the air conditioner drawing the water out. We came back 6 months later. The moisture content was normal. All the numbers were good in the floor and the subfloor. We sanded, finished it. We did a little repair, $7,000 instead of $35,000, because this floor will last. I've sanded floors this thick that predate the Civil War. This is an excellent floor. So putting this in, if they're about the same cost, 10% difference one way or another, this is a much better value long term. So that's why these floors have been around for a long time. And that's why we still get called, can you come back and sand and finish my wood floor? Well, how old are they? Oh, but the house was built before World War I. Well, that's a great floor. It just lasted that long. So anyway, that's our approach. That's our point of view. That's why this is a better floor than an engineered, pre-finished, glued to slab floor. That's enough for today. Thanks.